You're nervous, aren't you?
Yes.
Through the magic of editing, you can make us look good.
I'm ready.
Let's go. Before Christ, I was selfish, angry, wandering, not being a leader in my own house.
I thought I had to be a good Christian, even though I knew in the Bible it says that by grace you were saved, that it's a free gift. Somehow I still had to earn it in the back of my mind.
We moved from the Midwest and came down here, didn't have any idea where we were gonna go to church. So my husband just Googled churches with marriage ministries and popped up Reengage. Went actually to Reengage before we ever went to a service on Sunday. Just knew that was just something that we needed, not realizing what the Lord had in store for us.
When we first walked into Watermark, the authenticity was what kind of drew us in. We just hadn't seen that at any church we had been at before.
When we came to Watermark Plano, we got immediately plugged into a foundation group. I shared everything from, my drinking problems to going to jail. We shared it all. We were just very vulnerable, but really wanted to be authentic for the first time in our lives, to let other people into our lives and allow Christ to work that way.
Probably the best thing so far was when Rob Berry, 2 years ago, almost to the day, preached at Plano and said, among many, many other things, hey, confess that sin that you thought you were going to take to the grave. Not an easy thing to do, but sat Amanda down and confessed to her that early in the marriage, I'd had an affair.
I found out I was pregnant with my second son and found out in utero about 13 weeks into my pregnancy that he was gonna have sickle cell disease. And I had just kind of casually brought it up one day in community, that I was thinking about abortion and I didn't know if I wanted to keep this child.
It was no mistake that we were in community with who we were in community with. And it was amazing just to see the guys. I mean, I don't know, it was probably 9 o'clock at night. They all showed up at the house.
Yeah, they did.
All of them left whatever they were doing.
At the time, it felt like an ambush. We walked in and there was 2 chairs in the middle and all the chairs for everyone else around, and they told us to sit in the middle, and they gave me, I still have it, this list of scriptures to meditate on. It was the first time I had really experienced God's love in an environment that was not surface level.
And honestly, if it wasn't for just that group as a whole, I'm not sure where we would be.
Yeah, neither am I.
When Zode was born, he was born December 19th. We call him Zode, but his full name is Izodosa. And in my family's dialect, that means I choose the path of God.
We went to the very first night of Reengage, I believe it was, at the Plano campus.
So he had his arms folded, he was sunken in, looking heads down. And then the key phrase, draw a circle around yourself and fix everybody in that circle. We are not here to fix your spouse, and we're not here to point fingers. And that immediately perked up his ear.
Having the privilege of serving at Reengage and seeing couples walk through the door that have come in a different car, that don't sit together, that can't even talk to each other, and then some 30-odd weeks later have reconciled with one another. That's just, it's incredible for us to see God's work and His power and His love played out through the story of these couples, and to know the effect that that's going to have on generations to come.
I have been overwhelmed by the love and acceptance that no matter how damaged I feel or how broken I feel based on my circumstances, that the way people love me is not dependent on my circumstances and has absolutely been Christ shown to me.
Thanks for making room for us.
Thank you for making room for me and my family.
Thank you for making room for me.
Thank you for making room for us.
Thank you